Now look over here, very close to them is yet another cluster, and that tree is gone too. Look, all those trees, they're full of these organisms, and that thing is gone, and that's just another big cluster that's gonna power up and glow, and then it's gonna go up into the sky and pretend that it's a star. But our entire sky is full of these things, and you don't even see the stars. Not the real stars. All you see is these things glowing, and they give you the illusion that you're looking at stars, but it's just them. Look over here. Those are all clusters, that whole thing, and that's in another tree right next to it. Look how many large clusters, and they're gonna power up and glow very shortly. Just look at how many of them there are. So that's a hot area there. Let me see. I'm going to check these out again, see how they're doing. Okay, that's a real bright cluster. And so is the one over here next to it. There's two clusters there next to each other, and sometimes they unite because the plasma that they're creating is spreading from one to the other, and the whole plasma ball is getting larger, so you can't tell the clusters apart, but there's two of them right there, and they're creating a huge plasma ball. Here's one that's gonna light up right over here. That's gonna light up soon, where the yellow part is. It's starting to glow. Wow, this one's a hexahedron already. Check it out. Look at that. It's going to be a hexahedron very shortly. And these are more clusters right here. They're going to glow too. They're just all over, and they're on trees, they're in the air, they're in the water, they're all over the place. Look how many are in the air. Now you can see how many are in the air, and they're blurring the camera, but you can still see them flying in the air. Look how many are in the air. No matter how much they blur the camera, you can still see a lot of them in the air. Look at these. And just think how strong those are to create a huge hexahedron like that, two of them. Just look at how much power they have. That's that building where I shoot all the aliens on the balcony, and they're so upset with me that I do that, but you know, I didn't ask them to come here. But look at how strong and how much power those hexahedrons have. They just stay there, and it's still daylight. It's not dark out yet. It's 12 minutes after 9 p.m. And check out how strong those are. Even in daylight they can form a hexahedron. That means they have a lot of power to hold that hexahedron. And they blur everything else, so you can't see anything else but them. Just look at that. Here, I'll show you. Look how much power and energy they're producing. Look at that. Here's the nucleus. Look at all the action of the orbs around the nucleus and in the nucleus. Look at the shape of it. How perfect it is. And you can see that it's a hexahedron. Look at all the orb clusters in it. Let's see the other one. Where's the white one? Did it disappear? No, it's over here. Okay, let's see that one. Look at that. Just check out the nucleus, how fast they're revolving around the nucleus. And look at the shape of that on the edges. That's a hexahedron too. You can see the perfect shape. Now this is a geometric shape. This doesn't happen with just anything, and it's not an accidental shape. Look, there's 4 of them right now. There's 4 of them. I'm going to check out this one over here. This one is still not powered up enough. It's going to be powered up enough in a few minutes. Look, there's more happening. Look how they darken everything. That's how much power they have. They can actually affect camera performance. And actually, they can darken the entire area because there's so many of them. They can darken the whole sky. Look how they darken the whole sky in just a few minutes, but not all over, just in that one area where they are. And look how many of them there are now. There's more. Those are all clusters. And they can turn into any shape, but their basic shape is a hexahedron. Most of the time they just look like clusters like that. They glow. They're in a plasma state because they superheat the air around them. Look at this one. It's going to spark up. It's right in the trees. And there's no lights around it at all. Look. Okay, that one cluster disappeared. We'll go for these ones up here. There's lots of them. I don't have to worry about missing it because one disappears, another one appears in another place, and they're just like all over. That one's in the trees. There's nothing there. Here's another one in the trees right there. That's gonna spark up. There's another one that's gonna light up. There it goes. Now these are not man-made lights, and this is not a trick. Those are living, intelligent organisms or entities that are doing this. And there's so many of them that it's unbelievable how many of them. I don't even know how to count that far or that high, how many of these things there are. And I know my math, but there's so many of them that no one can count them. No one. Just look, they're lighting up all over. They're just lighting up all over like candles. And they're all over in all the trees and everything else. Look at that. Look how many clusters that's going to be. A whole bunch right there, all in one place. Look how fast those orbs are revolving counterclockwise. It's unbelievable. Now these things are all over, everywhere, on everything, and on everyone. And everything living or not living, it doesn't matter. They're just saturating every single thing around. And they're intelligent. Okay, so I wanted you to see how that cluster works. The orbs are rotating counterclockwise very fast around the nucleus, and there's more than one cluster, so they're sharing orbs back and forth to speed them up even more, because when they share them they can increase the velocity. And the reason why the whole thing is so bright and looks like it's glowing is because they're superheating the air with just their motion through the air, and the high velocity superheats the air and creates a plasma. Now, I'm not sure exactly what type of plasma that is, but when they get real hot, that's pure plasma, and the other states that are like yellow or reddish like that, they're just lesser heat plasma, but they're still plasma states. So, being that all the trees are them, the trees don't go on fire. If these were real trees where they are, you know, the trees would be on fire already. But these things insulate that area where the cluster is superheating the air, so that there's no heat going to anything else. Otherwise, everything around it would spark up and burn. So that's why we're not having fires, because of them. But these are intelligent organisms, and they're all over. Look, that's gonna be bright pretty soon and glowing. So all our trees are compromised because they're full of these things. I missed it. Okay, now there's no light around that thing at all. It's in a wooded area. Look how bright it is. And that's not a light on a post. There's no post, look, there's no post. That's just a cluster, and that's a pure plasma state, and that's what I'm talking about. They can grow or glow real bright and grow very large. When they get large like that, then they grow super bright, because then they make pure plasma. You can see all the orbs that are causing that whole thing to happen. Look at all that. Now anyone who says I'm making this up must be out of their mind, because who would want to make this up, and who would want to go through all this trouble? And now I have to turn the camera around because there's a huge light in the sky. I'm not going to stop it or anything. I'm going to try and get the huge light in the sky. Okay. Now this is up in the sky. It's supposed to be a plane, but it's just kind of standing there in one spot. So that's not a plane, that's for sure. Look at that, look at that. Okay, did you see that it turned into a plane? That was not a plane, that was a plane hologram. Okay, back to this side of the city. Okay, over here there's another tall post holding more lights, and there's lots of clusters around this one too. This is out in the woods. Watch, it's right next to a big power station, and there's all kinds of lights around that that are not man-made lights. Okay, like this is a cluster. That's not a man-made light right there. Oops. Okay, that's no street light. Look, there's two of them. Do you see that? There's more than two. So that's not a street light. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna back off. Okay, there's a bunch of clusters right there. Those are not man-made lights. There's nothing around there. That's in the trees. Here's a cluster all by itself that's going to start glowing very soon. Let's see what this is. This is a big cluster. It's not anywhere near any light. Look what they're doing. Okay, I didn't even touch the zoom or anything. I'm just gonna leave it there and show you what they're doing. What they're trying to do is shut off my camera. Every time they do that little jerk, they power up more and try and shut off the camera because they can drain the battery like that. And they've even melted batteries in my other camera like that, and I had to throw it out. But they can actually turn off the camera. The other thing that they do like that is throw it out of focus, so that no matter what you do, you can't get any focus. Just gonna go closer. Just look at all the action inside of the orbs. This one on top, you can see it the best. Look at all the smaller clusters going counterclockwise around that nucleus. And those yellow balls there, they're larger clusters inside the nucleus. Okay, you see how they just change the lighting in a blink of an eye?